Alright, so welcome back to One Punch Man World, all the heroes out there. Right, so previously I've been talking about the banners, about characters itself. So today, the touch point of this video is about developing the characters itself. Right, so as I mentioned previously on my previous video, right, characters, whether it be SR or SSR itself, right, all have their own unique kits itself. But most importantly is your resources are limited in this game itself. Right, so let's just go through with the very standard upgrading of characters itself so that everyone have a general idea of what do you want to build and what are the materials needed itself. So as you can see, we have Genos, Cyborg of Justice. This is a free SSR hero that you guys will receive by playing the game. So please play the game, get him, right? Do not say that, oh, I can't have an SSR. You are already given a new SSR and his gameplay is actually pretty decent itself. Alright, so over here you can see that the stats over here, we have attack, critical rate, critical damage and everything, and as well as memory stats. This one I will touch point later, right? But most importantly is you need to know on the basic stats itself, what does it do, right? Attack is basically attack power, critical rate, critical damage, very straightforward. If you crit, you get critical damage itself, right? And for characters that previously I touched point that has negative critical, just put them on attack. They will do a lot of good damage itself, right? So back to the stats itself, you see this called composure reduction. This is where you can help yourself to have more capabilities of stopping the boss to have a free 3 seconds damage free output for your team itself, right? So this is where your damage output will comes in, right? So for memory stats, as you progress through the game, they will actually tell you that you have something called memories, which is something like your kit, right? If you play older gacha games, or currently if you're still playing any gacha games, especially for people that play Genshin Impact or Star Rail, you might be very familiar with artifacts or relics. These are the same, right? So these are like microchips to make yourself stronger, but most importantly is the upgrade potential and merit, right? These are your bread and butter itself, right? So let's go through with the upgrade itself. So in this game they actually give you a lot of uh what do you call it, exp tickets right at the start of the game itself, but they have limited functions because the thing is whatever you earn later in the game itself, they always give you level 1. So I'm not sure whether would they enhance to give you more level 3 cards itself as the game goes by. But as you progress through the game, they will be giving you level 1 tickets, level 2 tickets and level 3 tickets. So use this wisely because it's limited, right, to build the team that you have. And after when you build them to the max level, there's something called limit break, right? So limit break itself, your battle tier, which is your team reward or your team level, right, is required, right, to limit break. So I will always suggest you to limit break the characters because it increases their base stats and it allows you to level them more so that they can get more stats itself. But do take note, in this game there's one flaw in terms of their level system. It is that if I actually limit break the character, my level goes back to level 1, then I have to redo again. So I do hope that they actually improve that, right, to retain the level so that the EXP cards can be less taxing on players that have limited resources itself, right? So next thing will be potential is something like your extra perks when you actually got a copy of the character itself, which actually will change the gameplay character itself, right? So you can see that, let's say for example, if you do the standard banner, right, you gotten Cyborg of Justice Genos, do not be sad that, oh damn, I got a copy. It doesn't affect you for a negative way. It actually will improve the gameplay that you have in the character itself, right? So over here you can see that for everything that you get, right, they will actually increase the potential of the characters itself. So have a read on their potential and then you'll see that every potential that you get from the character will make them better, right? So that's the potential. For merits itself, this is where you spend your energy, right, in the game itself to actually to help you to increase your base damage. Take it like a sacrifice, right? You do the hunts, right, you submit the loot and then they increase your base stats for a little bit, right? But as the game goes by, this will increase more and more and more and more. So it actually will help you in the long run. So please do not forsake this. This merit thing itself is very, very important, All right, then next thing is your memories, right? This is the more harder part itself, but the game will teach you what needed to be done. But most importantly is memories are the core for your character itself. This is where your attacks will come in, your subsets, right, your special effects and everything. But do note that every memories that you get will be different, right? So do note that what they will give. But ultimately, if let's say if you go to the memory department itself, which is on the second floor itself, turn to your left, right? This lady, she will actually tell you that she can actually craft the memories for you. Then when you craft the memories, they will actually show you which slot gives you which stats itself. So just need to take note itself. Alright. So you can see that some of them they actually will receive different base stats. Some of them they will receive fixed base stats. So like for example, for my number 2, I will actually get attack or composure reduction. Right, and number 3 will be composure. So they are fixed stats on certain parts, and there are 2 non-fixed stats itself, right? But how does this change the gameplay for your character? Is that for your character itself, right? If let's say if the character can do a lot of multi-hits, right, I would suggest you go for composure reduction itself, right? Because the thing is you might actually make use of their multi-hit itself. But same thing if let's say if the character have hard hitting attacks itself, you can also go for composure reduction, because the thing is the harder the attack hits, right, the more composure you can do itself. Like for example, Genos, right, if let's say if you go to his gameplay, you see he got this skill list, which is his burn, right? So you can see that when you got this full bar, he actually charged a full fireball. So if let's say if you put him as the composure reduction, he can actually maybe you to reduce the boss's charge very fast. Why I say maybe is because you still need to charge up the fireball at the end of the day. So if you're unable to charge it up, you will not be able to do as much as possible, right? But like I say, learn the game, play the game, right? You will actually love the combat system itself. It'll get boring a little while, but you still find the fun of it, especially when dodging, because the thing is all the bosses they give is quite challenging. But most importantly is need to know what are the 4 characters that you want to build for your team itself, because this has a team of 4, right? You need to have 4 characters to build up to have an easier time for you, and as well as the upgrade potential and merit. So lastly, for this game itself, right, there's impression arms, right, that actually helps you to this itself. So earlier I mentioned about memory and will, right? This game will still guide you through, right? As you level up, they actually tell you what does the memory and the will do. So please read, right? And you'll know what does the game really advising you the usage of this itself. Alright, so for the next one is the impression arms. So impression arms, a lot of people will understand this as the weapon, right, in the gacha game itself. But this one is a little bit more tricky. It's because in this game itself, weapon arms or impression arms itself, you need to have that character, right, in order to use it, especially for SR rank and above itself, right? For rare rank and above, there are some that is limited to the SSR character. There are some that is shared among the SR character. So usually you just need to take note for this game is the rare for the SR characters itself, right? They will actually tell you like which characters can be used, right? Can be used for the things itself. So like for example, if you see this, right, they will actually tell you, so sorry, I actually press equip itself, right? They'll actually tell you like which character can use the arms itself, right? So you can see that over here, if let's say I go to Movement Rider, you can see that it's the same, right? It's the same. So you have to choose which character you need to use. And most importantly is once you actually gotten multiple copies of impression arms, you can choose whether for the character that you're using, especially for SR, do you want to enhance it to make it even stronger, right? Or you want to keep it for multiple characters so that next time when you actually come back to the character itself, you don't have the impression arms unlocked itself. Alright, so do take note that impression arms goes a long way, right? But if you have multiple copies, please do not hesitate to enhance, just like how I gotten this for Lily, right? Please just enhance it, because at the end of the day, this one will give you the most benefit in the long run, because this one is your skill and I think it also helps in your combat itself, right? But for SR rank, like I said, you have to be careful because they share their rare impression. So you have to choose which are the 4 characters that you're gonna play for SR rank itself. But once you actually gotten SSR, right, they have their own specific rare itself. So this is how the game gonna differentiate the impression arms itself, right? But some people will say, oh, but I actually gotten my gacha. I gotten some rare that I can't use. Yes, because like I said, there are some rares that specifically for the characters itself, for SSR. So please check with them, right, with the characters itself, and then use accordingly, right, to the characters itself. Then you will actually be more happy, and you'll also be able to make a better decision on which character that you want to build. All right, so these are the impression arms, right? So that calls for the character itself, because at the end of the day, you have to play the game long to actually to start progressing through the game itself, right? So all these are your bread and butter. Please do not neglect, but most importantly is please make use of your resources, because earlier, even though I said that you need to limit break the character, you can see that the amount of money needed is a lot, and over here I'm broke, right? Because I have already limit break 5 characters itself, right? Which already cost me a lot of credits in the game itself, right? So do take note, if you want to build more than 4 characters itself, right, you must have the credits itself, right? So get farming, get hunting, get earning, right, and you'll slowly progress through the game itself, right? Please do not get impatient and feel that, oh shit, this game is soft locking everything itself, because at the end of the day, right, the characters is built slowly that way so that we can follow through, right, the progress of the game itself. If not, everyone will just get everything done in one day, and then the game will be neglected by the players already. Alright, so that's all for characters building for this video itself. Any questions, like I said, leave a comment down below, or you can always check my Twitch channel, right, to actually get the answers, right, that you wish to look for. Okay, and most importantly, before I end the video, there's something called deployment at the end of the game settings itself, right? This is will be unlocked as you progress through the game, right, which you can actually adjust whether you want to have credits or you want to have EXP itself, right? So I'll let you to do the exploration, but I will touch point on this more important things as well, because this is where a lot of players will fall short, and in the end they will so-called quit because it gets too hard for them. Alright, so I have a good game in One Punch Man World, right, and I will see you guys for the next video itself, if I ever make another one, because I think this game at the moment itself is quite straightforward, quite simplified, and for those people that play Yakuza or any Sega games like, you guys will love this game for their artwork and everything itself, right? So have a nice day, have a good day, and all the best for your hero hunting.